Now the Action Center is new for Windows 7. And you can actually find a lot of cool features in here. I mean, you can manage the firewall, update settings, virus protection, Windows Defender, all that sort of stuff. User account control. That's a big problem that people used to have in Vista. Now in Windows 7, you can change it. The setting. It gives you a nice little slider here, which shows you whether you want to notify, how often you want to get notified. This is the default. Honestly, working through Windows 7, it's a little bit better. It's not that much better from Vista. I've gotten used to it. I leave it on usually. Yeah, I mean, it'll allow users to disable it a little bit more easily in a little bit more of a user-friendly way with more granular control. It's not just on-off. You can have different levels of control, which is always nice. It's always nice to see. Other things in here, not too much really. It's just basically just a different view on how to manage your computer. They've got the Solution Center still. They give you access to Windows Backup, which is again very similar to what it always has been. So yeah, this is hasn't changed particularly much. So I mean, it's basically just a new view on the same sort of tools that we've all become accustomed to. Other stuff, Resource Monitor, that's changed. They've actually moved stuff around. I don't know if it's better. I don't know if it's worse. They give you, again, it's more or less just different views on the same sort of stuff that you were able to manage before. It shows you memory here. I've actually been wondering what the standby memory means, and I really honestly don't know. I don't know if it's memory that's been allocated but is being shown as not being used. Like, as you can see, Windows here says it's using 1.5 gigs of data, which is what we see in use here. Standby doesn't sound like free. I don't know what it is. I'll try to figure it out for you guys. But I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know everything. So yeah, again, more views, more things that you can see in here. I mean, you don't need to do netstat anymore. You've got a lot of that sort of information already available here, which is good. I mean, more stuff that you can put into a view, the better through a UI stuff. Oh, another thing that I noticed: offline files are now enabled by default. I did not do this. Windows did this on its own. I installed this yesterday, and of course it's already been making offline files and stuff like backups for offline files. So that's really cool because it's a great functionality. A lot of people were confused about what previous versions was because it was always disabled unless you enabled it yourself, and now we've got it enabled by default. So if users accidentally delete their data, if you guys accidentally delete your data, you'll now have a proper previous versions view, which is really cool. It'll hopefully make life a little bit easier. Even if you, I mean, I won't go through what this is right now because it's an old feature, but basically it allows you to go to old views of different folders. So this is what this folder looked like yesterday. If I deleted the Windows sidebar folder here, I could just take this and drag it into somewhere else, and it would come back from the dead. Of course, I believe that that's probably why Microsoft sets aside 100 megabytes here, the system reserved partition. I'm not completely sure what that's for. I have a sneaking suspicion it's to do with offline files. Yeah, I would not delete this partition. Probably not a good idea. They make it themselves. I don't even know if they let you. I won't try it right now, lest my video end in horror. So yeah, that's they've enabled offline files by default. Another really cool feature that I don't know why it hasn't been talked about more is recording steps. Record steps, and they really hide this from everyone. I don't know why, but it's a really cool feature. It doesn't look pretty. The interface is kind of not that clean. But watch this. Okay, I've started recording now. So say I want to record a problem. You send a user to this, and you tell them to start recording. And now, if, for example, if I open Firefox and say I have a problem opening Firefox, closing Firefox, then I can basically go through those steps. Now I stop recording, and now pretending I'm an end user, I take this, put it on my desktop, call this my problem. It gets zipped automatically, and I can send this to a network administrator. They can open it up and view the problem and look at that. And it shows you a step-by-step view of absolutely everything. User left double click on Mozilla Firefox in Program Manager. User left click on close in Mozilla Firefox. User left click on closed Task Manager, and it highlights it. They give you a bigger view, so it's much clearer what's going on, which is brilliant. This is a really great feature that will help a lot of people in the future. So this is very, very cool. The problem steps recorder, it's called. They shouldn't hide it. They should be talking about it more. But yes, it's very, very awesome, and I think it'll really, really help. Of course, there's other small changes as well. There's disk defrag, which has changed. They allow you they've changed the interface a little bit. They finally again allow you to analyze your disks before defragmenting, which is, I don't know why they didn't allow that before. They do now. Otherwise, not much has changed. It's all run on a schedule. You can select your disks. It's a similar stuff from Vista. It's just that they've added the Analyze Disk button, and again, it's a different view on basically the same functionality. Other things, Windows XP mode that you might have heard about. I haven't installed it on here. It's not included by default, but it will be available to Windows 7 Professional, Windows 7 Ultimate, I believe. And it's a virtualized environment. I'm not going to go into depth about it because I don't really have it installed on this machine right now, but it will be available. And Remote Desktop, which has been updated to a new version. Basically, the biggest change in Remote Desktop is the fact that they actually allow you to use multiple monitors, and it works. So if I connect to a remote system and I want to span it across both of my screens, I can do that now and actually use both screens, which is brilliant because that did not work before. At least as far as I can tell, it didn't work. So that's pretty much Windows 7 in a nutshell. I realize now that I've taken almost 30 minutes to actually show you all the new features and functionalities in Windows 7, but that's all the stuff that you can really have to look forward to. Really the biggest thing to take away from this is that Windows 7, I got it up and running in 20 minutes, and it runs faster. It's better in pretty much every way. It gives you more options. It gives you new views on the same stuff that make things easier to use. And that's pretty much it. In terms of features and stuff and core functionality, it's not like moving from XP to Vista, and that was done on purpose to avoid major issues. I haven't really had any major compatibility issues. Oh, before I go, you can move this stuff now. You can move your applications around on the taskbar. I don't know why it took so long to be able to do this, but it's fun. That was, I don't know, this isn't a big change. It's little things like this that really make the operating system shine. And it's just a question of you can put it on a system and be up and running in 20 minutes, which you couldn't do with Vista. With Vista, you'd have to go and locate your drivers. It was better than XP. Vista was much better than XP in that regard, but Windows 7 is literally unparalleled. I've never seen anything quite like it. Let's change me to basic. It doesn't like my recording software. I'm going to say bye for now. And again, I'm Corey from. My blog is at simulas.net. Here should be a link that pops up if I figure out how to put that onto a YouTube video. And have a great day. Hopefully you're excited about Windows 7.